If you're currently someone who overthinks about every single thing that goes on in your life, let's fix you. First things first, everyone's gonna die. Each and every single person you've met will be dead and Earth will be eaten by the sun. Every person who has seen you do something embarrassing is gonna die. Every person who has ever doubted you is gonna die. Every person you have ever dated is gonna die. Meaning every person you love, like, or hate is gonna die eventually. Meaning everything either negative, bad, or embarrassing that has ever happened to you is eventually gonna be forgotten and none of it matters. When you constantly remind yourself of this, you realize that there is literally no reason to live your life based on other people's opinions about you because they're gonna die anyways. You're literally one tiny human out of 8 billion. You're not the main character. None of us are. We're just pieces of flesh who live on a rock with grass. Even though this might seem like common sense, many of us continue to be extremely self-centered. We're constantly assuming that all eyes are on us 24/7, whether it's at work, school, the gym, parties, or wherever. We worry about what people will think of the way we walk or speak. We worry about what people will think of the way we sit. We worry about what people will think of the way we sit here during school attendance. Funny thing is, while we're worrying about what other people will think of us, those same people are also worrying about what other people will think of them. So in reality, everyone is thinking about nobody else but themselves. You are the person you are right now simply because of what you consumed. If you don't like who you are at this very moment and you feel like it's messing up your experience with life, then it's 100% because of what you watch and listen to. The person who reads books, listens to podcasts, and goes to the gym will live a completely different life than the person who plays video games, listens to constant rap, and binge watches memes. If you're constantly listening to people like David Goggins yell in your ear to get up and do what you're supposed to do, then eventually that's what you're gonna start doing. If you are constantly listening to influencers that tell you it's okay to relax and chill all the time, then that's what you're gonna do. Changing who you are simply just requires changing what you consume. Your problems are nowhere as big as you think. Our little problems turn into bigger problems simply because we focus on the problem itself rather than the solution. Just recently, I had to pay $230 for my phone bill because I was charged for a late fee. Instead of focusing on the problem and freaking out and worrying about how the world is going to end and how the universe is going to disintegrate itself and how all the plans are going to explode at the same time, I instead focused on the solution. Just switch phone plans. I like to tell people all the time, when there is a solution to your problem, then why worry about it? If there isn't a solution to your problem and there's absolutely nothing you can do to fix it, then why worry about it? You're always going to be stressed. No matter how many problems you solve, how many fake people you cut off, or how many stress-free techniques you try out, you will always find something to stress about. Unless you become a badass monk or something, you will always be stressed, and humans were designed to be this way to protect you against threats or predators. You're not going to be stressed every single second of your life, but it's likely you will experience some level of stress each and every day. Problems will always arise after solving more problems. So chasing a stress-free life is sort of like running on a treadmill. No matter how long you run for, you will always be in the same spot as when you started. Stop worrying about death and just enjoy the ride. I think one of the silliest questions that many people ask is, if we're all gonna die one day, then what is the point of living? And I simply just answered this question by asking another question. What is the point of going to Disneyland knowing in just a couple of hours you're gonna have to head back home? Well, you go to have fun and make the best out of it, right? You're not gonna sit around depressed and miss out on all the rides, shows, and parades just because you know that time is limited and you will eventually have to leave at some point. That would make no sense. And same thing goes with life. After all, you had 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born. So why not just enjoy the ride?